Hey campaigners, welcome to the campaign rules of what we're going to be doing with all these bat reps. So we're going to do a galactic campaign. There's going to be what, 9, 10 planets?
There will be 8 in the middle and 3 home planets, because we have 3 players. There's me, and I'll be playing Necrons for the purpose of the campaign. Mitch will be playing Tau for the purpose of the campaign. And Nick, the other guy, will be playing Grey Knights for the purpose of the campaign. So there'll be 3 of us, and 3 homeworlds, and then 8 worlds in between.
Yes. So we're going to start with movement through on the campaign map. Basically, for movement, you're going to be able to move, well, basically one battle per turn. So you're allowed to attack one planet per turn, and it can be any planet that's going to be adjacent to a planet you own. So that's anywhere where you own a planet. Basically, you're allowed to deploy an army to attack a planet that's adjacent to it.
And then once you attack a planet, if it's owned by somebody else, then the first attack is like to establish a beachhead. So you need 2 victories to actually like kick a defender off a planet. So, for example, let's say the Necrons invade a world held by the Tau. So the Necrons would need an initial victory to get on to successfully invade the planet, and then a second victory to actually kick the Tau off of the world and actually call it a new Necron world. Now, if the attacker wins the first battle and successfully establishes a beachhead, but loses the second battle, then they remain in a stalemate, and they will stand there and hit each other until somebody wins, and then whoever wins will get kicked off the planet. So that's how the very, very basic part of the campaign will work.
Okay. So if you're arriving on an unoccupied planet, it's pretty simple. It's not going to be that big of a battle, but you roll on a D3. On a 1, nothing happens, and you get to claim the planet without a battle, which is very nice. On a 2, a small 1,000-point contingent on the D3 table of the other 3 armies that are going to be playing. So we're actually going to have demons in this that are going to make demonic incursions, but we'll get to that later. And so you'll have to fight the other 3 armies on a roll of a 2. On a roll of a 3, you get a 1,500-point contingent, and if the defenders in any of these battles destroy 2/3 of your force, then you do not own the planet, and you'll have to fight over it again next turn. And so you will be using, the attacker is going to be using his 2,000-point army. So it's just to see if the defender can actually destroy 2/3 of the attacker's force.
Yeah, and only 1 battle is necessary to claim an unoccupied world. So, for example, if the Necrons were to come on an unoccupied world, and they rolled on a D3, let's say I rolled a 2, because that's average, and everybody knows that Warhammer's always average. It's not. So, in that case, a 1,000-point contingent of somebody, either Grey Knights, Tau, or Demons, would attack. And then if they manage to kill off 2/3 of the invading Necrons, I don't get the planet. Then I have to try to attempt to relaunch an invasion during my next turn. Mitch mentioned this in passing, but the armies for all of these battles are going to be 2,000 points. So battles between players will end up being 2,000 points on 2,000 points. Now, something else. Now, we mentioned demonic incursions, and mostly because the demons are up and coming in the galaxy. And so we've said that before the second battle to take a planet, so you establish a beachhead and invade, before that second push to kick them off the planet, we're going to roll a d6, and on a 5+, the attackers, or whoever won the last battle on that planet, so if the person just attacked and established a head, and then right before the second battle, it would be those invaders. Whereas if they've been a stalemate for a while, so the invaders invaded, but then they've been pushing back and forth, whoever won the last battle suffers demonic incursion against that player. And it'll be a full force battalion, it'll be 2,000 points, and the player who gets attacked has to defeat the demons before trying to kick out the other people, be it the attacker, the invaders, or the defenders. And that happens in the same turn. So, for example, if the Necrons are trying to be in a stalemate with the Tau, and I've successfully established a beachhead, then I won the last battle. And if I roll a 5+ right before the battle starts, then we suffer. The demons would attack the Necrons, and I would have to fight a battle against the demons. If I lose, then I forfeit any further action on that planet for that turn. So basically, the demons stopped the attack because of their incursion. If I win, then I immediately fight the defenders, the Tau in this case, for control of that planet in the same turn. So you can't incur a demonic incursion like immediately twice in a row, because that wouldn't make any sense.
And it's going to be full force. So if the person that suffered the demonic incursion wins, he does get his full force back, and he does get to fight 2,000 versus 2,000 in the second battle.
Right. And another note on demons, there's going to be one planet right in the middle of a warp rift, just because we'll make that more fun. And the roll of a 5+ to incur the demon's wrath on other planets, for this planet is going to be a 3+, because it's right in the middle of the warp rift. And furthermore, if you try to invade this unoccupied planet, it will end up being a full force of demons as the defenders. You don't roll on the D3 table for attacking an unoccupied planet. It's just you have to fight 2,000 points of demons.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be fun to try to invade that planet.
All right. Another thing, victory condition is obviously if a player does take the entire galaxy, but there's going to be a bunch of difficulties in front of that with homeworld difficulties and other planets. So the planets are going to be a reduction of the supply chain. So every planet away you are from your home world is going to be 50 points off of your army list to attack that planet. So if you were 2 planets away from your home world on the planet that you were attacking, you would incur 100 points down, so you'd have a 1,900 versus 2,000 point battle. But you can spend 3 victory points to negate all of that, all your supply chain deal in any turn. That will be also, victory points are going to be kept after every battle. So depending on what battle type it is and how many victory points you get, even the player that's defeated gains his victory points. So that you spend it on the campaign map, kind of like money. So if you get 3 victory points or 4 victory points, you can spend 3 of them on negating the supply chain effect, and then you could spend 1 of them on a planetary power, which we'll get into next.
Right. And then thinking about the victory points, your home planet generates a victory point every turn. And so you're guaranteed, as long as you have your home planet, you will have at least 1 victory point every turn, plus whatever victory points you gain from any battles that you fight. The normal victory points, including like points for secondary objectives, all that stuff, you keep those as sort of a cache to help negate the downside of being farther away from your home. So more notes on home planets. So due to the nature of the defenders being more well entrenched and them being more of them, battles that take place on a home planet will be 2,500 points. In addition, the defenders of the home planet initially get 500 extra points, which then decreases by 250 points each subsequent time the planet is attacked. So, for example, if the Tau are attempting to invade the Necron homeworld, the first time that they attack, it'll be a 2,500 point army versus a 3,000 point army. And then, let's say they're defeated, and so then he withdraws. The next time they invade, it goes down, the benefit goes down by 250 points. So then it would be a 2,500 point army versus a 2,750 point army. And if they're repelled again, then it would go down to a minimum of 2,500 points. Also, those bonuses, one of them, you can't get them back at any point during the campaign. And then also, battles on a homeworld, a homeworld itself takes 3 battles to fully take, unlike normal planets, which only take 2 battles. In addition, on the home planet, for the defenders, and 3 detachment, so an HQ and 2 troops choices, can be taken. If you lose a home planet, so if you lose all 3 battles and get kicked off your home planet, the losers can retake the home planet with only 1 battle at 2,500 points. So if you win 1 battle against the people who kicked you off your home planet, then you regain it. We assume that the people whose home planet it is come back, the native people on the planet rebel and kick out the invaders.
Yep.
And so those are some notes on home planets.
Yeah, and on a point with the compulsory attachment, we have decided that we're not taking double force orgs. Only the home planet can take that extra compulsory that extra compulsory slot. So it's just a way to keep the battles a little bit more fair and not spam units in a sense.
Yeah, we don't need 6 riptides.
Nope.
So anyway, those are most of our campaign notes. Now those rules are subject to change. If we find out that something is completely gross, then we'll tweak it as we go.
Yep.
So not set in stone, but that's going to be the general guidelines. If it doesn't make sense, then we'll do some videos. We'll be showing all campaign stuff. So just keep tuned in, and you'll see what we're talking about. I am still trying to sort my head and wrap around it, but we'll get it.
Yeah. Also, if you have any ideas for the campaign, we're trying to keep it kind of simple so that most of the focus is on the battles on the map. But if you have an idea that would make it just a little bit more interesting, go ahead and tell us in the comments, or we'll have that email up and running, so you can email us there. Also, we're gonna make another video sometime in August detailing planet stuff.
Right. Once we figure out what the planets are.
There's going to be a bunch of different planets and stuff, and they're going to give bonuses and a bunch of other stuff.
A bunch of cool special rules and kind of stuff.
So that'll be coming out. It'll probably be our first campaign stuff is probably going to be coming in August. So we get everything sorted out and everything set. So that's it.
Happy painting.
Yeah.